Spurs versus Thunder game just legitimized the NBA Cup. One of the most incredible products of basketball we've seen in a few years. The alien versus the supercomputer of a team in the Thunder, two of the top stars and the teams in the entire league. Thunder, Spurs, Wemby versus SGA. Wemby had his coming out party in a game with limited minutes. In 20 minutes, he just made an incredible impact. The Thunder only shot 4 field goals in the paint during his minutes, just completely changing the way you have to play when he's on the floor. His defensive prowess down low. I mean, you see why he was all in Defensive Player of the Year talk last year, and I think he'll continue to be this year as long as he can continue to stay healthy, but we'll see if that comes to fruition. But just the impact he has when he is on the floor is undeniable. What this also shows is how the NBA Cup works as an idea, right? It really leans into the same thing that March Madness does with the single game elimination. People like single game elimination, winner go home every single game. It's what makes March Madness so incredible, and I think a single game elimination version of the NBA playoffs, where everything is a winner go home game, creates an incredible basketball product. And I think maybe they realize that this is the most intriguing part of the NBA Cup as a whole, a single game elimination version of the playoffs. Maybe add an extra round of the winner go home part of this. Maybe do a little bit less in the regular season, or keep how it is and just do an extra round of the winner go home. I think people really like watching that. But getting must-watch games like this in December is the entire idea of the NBA Cup, and until now, we haven't seen it fully come to fruition, because now, with that game last night, I mean, that was incredible. Just one of the best basketball games. The Knicks Magic game was also pretty good, but I think this game really was what solidified. This also solidifies what will be one of the top rivalries in the West for years to come. The Spurs and the Thunder game today reminded me of that Cavs-Warriors Christmas game a few years back, just two top teams going at it. You got, LeBron James, the one-man show, Wemby, the alien. He's going to be one of the best players in league history if he's able to really continue the trajectory he's going on now versus like a supercomputer-built team, like a team that's just statistically incredible. The Thunder, SGA, similar shades to Steph Curry, different way to play the game, but it's like the captain of a team like that that's just so incredibly good, and so many great pieces around him. I mean, incredible games. Chet Holmgren versus Wemby is going to be one of the most incredible rivalries. Down low, Castle, really, what a game from him as well. Coming out game for Castle as well as Wemby. But you could talk about Wemby for the Spurs, of course, but yeah, like I mentioned, Castle, Fox, and Vassell also had incredible games, and it was an incredibly balanced scoring attack for the Spurs, right? They all had 22 points besides Vassell, who had 23, so very balanced team, and I think the Thunder, that's what we're kind of moving towards in the NBA, is incredibly balanced teams rather than one guy really taking up all the scoring. I mean, the Thunder, obviously, SGA, you have a top dog, you have a top scorer like that, but the guys around him can really contribute at high levels. I mean, we see the Knicks on the other side of it. Brunson went off, but they have incredible scorers around him too. I mean, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, obviously Karl Anthony Towns, guys who could come off the bench and score. I mean, Shamit's hurt, but Shamit does the same thing. McBride hurt as well, but can do that. But you just have guys like that who can just go off any given night. You throw it to the hot hand, or you have a balanced attack, which is exactly what the Spurs done, and I think that's how the top teams are moving. I think they're moving more towards a strength and numbers approach, much like the greatest team of all time, like back in those Warriors teams with the best regular season record. But if Wemby can stay healthy, they've really thrown themselves in top of the league conversations with teams like, obviously, the Thunder, the Nuggets, Lakers, Knicks, and Pistons. So really just throwing themselves in those conversations. And some say they were already there, but I think last night really was a statement to the rest of the league. Looking ahead to the Spurs versus Knicks final on Tuesday, the Knicks are a team that doesn't score as much in the paint overall as Oklahoma City, but they did a lot in the semis against the Magic, right? That's not their usual bread and butter offense, but it's exactly what they did against the Magic. They dissected the Magic down low. I think the absence of Franz Wagner definitely did contribute to that, but it still did happen. I mean, we've seen some incredible duels already from Wemby and Brunson in the past. I mean, Brunson, one of his high-scoring game against the Spurs, and Wemby again against the Knicks. That was an incredible overtime thriller just a few years back, and it's looking to be another great one here. The Knicks are a team this year with incredible floor spacing, which is going to be really good against the down-low defense of the Spurs, making Wemby have to come out as far as possible with Spectrum and Mitchell Robinson on the floor, which is going to be huge minutes for him. They're going to need him to have a great defensive game. Obviously, he's going to have health defense. I think guys like Josh Hart are going to need to play a huge role shutting down passing lanes. OG Anunoby, obviously Mikal Bridges, but Mitchell Robinson, the main assignment being Victor Wembanyama and shutting him down, right? That's going to be absolutely huge to shut down his offense. I mean, Castle's going to be another challenge for the Knicks because can't have Brunson on him. I think Bridges is going to need to have a huge game, right? And for offensively for the Knicks, knocking down outside shots is going to be crucial, not just from Brunson, but Bridges, OG, Cat, and Co. will all need to make the Spurs heavily worry about the outside shooting so Brunson can go to work down low. For the Knicks as a whole, this is a crucial test early in the season. If they are unable to beat the Spurs, it's a good thing for Leon Rose to see what adjustments they might need to make to the roster as a they're going to need to compete with these top Western Conference teams. I mean, these other Western Conference teams, they get to play each other a lot more often, but I think, the West being stronger to be a top East team, you kind of lose out on a little bit, right? You don't get to see yourself against the top teams in the league as often, so this is just huge for the Knicks to just get extra games against top teams. I mean, they've already been eyeing guys like Jose Alvarado, and a possible reunion with Dante DiVincenzo as just backup guard play as they've had injuries to their guards. I think that would be a solid move for either of them. Not going to be too expensive, but if you're talking about expensive, ever-looming Giannis rumors for this team, right? Giannis wanting to go to the Knicks. We'll see if they bite there, but that would be a whole roster overhaul. We'll see if the Knicks end up wanting to do it, or the Bucks, and if the price can even match. But I mean, we'll see how that goes, but that's just obviously a looming thread. And if they really think, a game like this against the Spurs, if they really just show that they can't compete with them, I think that puts them way more into the honest conversations. If it's either they win or it's a close game, right, then they make a smaller move. They go for Dante, they go for Alvarado, they go for what they need versus these teams. And looking for the Knicks, I honestly really did want them to play the Thunder in the finals because I wanted to see how we matched up against them and what moves we possibly had to make. But I think a very big difference in what moves they end up making is going to come from this game. I think the Knicks getting here is the best thing that could have happened to this season. I think just getting to the Cup Finals to see how they match up in a winner-go-home game, right? You're seeing a team at their absolute best, a top West team at their best, and you're getting to play against them. Not something they really get to do very often, especially when these West Coast, East Coast conference games end up kind of having guys sit out in the regular season, right? You're not going to get that here, and I think it's a huge thing for the Knicks, especially for Leon Rose. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the NBA Cup after this incredible game last night. Do you think that really legitimized it? Make it a harder path to get there, make it a lot more, see the why it's there, and if you guys like that. And who do you got in the Knicks for Spurs game? Who do you think is going to be the leading scorer of that game? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great day.